WATD presents Friends with Benefits, exploring relationships, social issues, and life stories. Be a part of the show at 781-837-4900. Friends with Benefits with your host, Brian Stratton.
Welcome aboard 95.9 WATD, Friends with Benefits. Another Wednesday night here with Jay Gillespie. How you doing, Jay?
Hey, Brian. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I don't know if you can be heard through your... I don't hear you very well through the mic, but you there?
I'm right here, Brian. How you doing tonight?
You got it? I'm doing great, thanks. So how about Paul Kearney from Atlanta Sports Clubs?
Brian, how you doing?
What's going on, buddy? We have a special guest tonight with Joe Armstrong. How you doing, Joe?
Great to be here, Brian, with the team.
Situate, Mass. And I do believe we have a phone caller calling in, too. Do we have that, Larry? Is that Alicia?
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, it's Beth Long. I'm calling on behalf of Alicia.
Oh, how are you, Beth?
Good, how are you?
Welcome to Friends with Benefits. Now,
thank you for having us.
Yes, well, I wanted to talk to all the listeners out there about the benefit that you guys are doing this Friday night. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
So it's Friday night. It's at the Emerald Hall in Abington. It's for Alicia, who has stage 3 breast cancer. She was just recently diagnosed. Just finished her first round of 12 weeks of chemo.
As I understand it, Alicia is a single mother of two children. She is a single
mother of 2 little girls.
Okay, and how's she faring during the first round of chemo?
She's doing very well, actually. She's doing great. She has great support from her family and all of her friends. She's still working while she's been going through this.
Wow, that's got to be difficult. I can't even imagine trying
and she's an EMT with Fallon Ambulance, so it's not an easy job.
Wow. So this Friday night, it's so important. And as I've seen on Facebook, it looks like there's been quite a gathering that have already confirmed going to the benefit.
There is. At this point, we're a little bit over 400 sold tickets.
Wow. But we do know the venue can fit at least 500 in there.
Right. Actually, the venue can hold up to 600 people. So we're shooting for that.
Where exactly is the venue?
It's at Emerald Hall in Abington. It's 30 Central Street in Abington.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
You're welcome.
So what time does the event start?
So it starts at 7 p.m. Friday. It runs through midnight. We have raffles. We have a silent auction going on. We have some great prizes. We just got a donation in yesterday from Fallon Ambulance, as a matter of fact, 4 tickets for Club Seed, a value of $2,500 for the Patriots game. So we're looking forward to getting that raffled off in our silent auction. We also have a DJ coming, Vinny DiRusso. We have appetizers, food, and like I said, plenty of raffles. We have almost 100 raffles.
So this is, you guys have covered every corner here.
We're trying.
So this is the Alicia Fabiano fundraiser.
Strong support.
Okay. And once again, Alicia has stage 1 breast cancer?
She's stage 3.
Stage 3, okay.
Yeah.
So, and boy, we're all thinking about her here at WATD 95.9, and we urge everybody to get out there this Friday night, to go to Abington and support. Is there any way people can find online how to get information?
Yes, they can go. If they go on Facebook, they can go to the Alicia Fabiano Strong Support Fund page. It's set up. All of our contact information is out there. There's Bill Rinaldi is one of our strong contact points, and Annette Holmes is another strong contact point. So we urge you, any information that you would like to get, or if you need to contact us with some sort of donation or any sort of interest, again, it's the Facebook page is Alicia Fabiano Strong Support Fund. So,
and lastly, if people haven't received all that information, they can simply email us here at ctamanagement@rocketmail.com. That's CTA management@rocketmail.com, and we can give any of the information that's needed for the event for Friday night for Alicia Fabiano. I'd like to thank you for being on Friends with Benefits, Beth.
Oh, thank you all so much. We appreciate all the help and the support that you've given us.
I hope a few of us can come down there and say hello and meet you guys face to face.
Oh, that would be wonderful. We look forward to it.
Okay, great. So, guys, we have a lot of things on the table tonight. We actually have Steve Sweeney calling, too, as a matter of fact.
A wonderul political satirist and comic.
He's great.
To say the least.
Paul Kearney must know him, right? Do you know Steve?
I've seen him. He's a funny guy.
He's
Listen to
great.
Him and Malone, is it? Malone and Sweeney?
Joe Malone.
Joe's a
Sweeney,
great guy, too.
Sweeney and Malone is the show every Tuesday night.
Sweeney's even funnier than Joe, though.
They both
Right, therefore, the comedian.
they both play off each other quite a bit. Their show is between 6 and 8 o'clock here on 95.9 WATD every Tuesday night. And let's get to what we're talking about here, because there's some information that has been brought about to me through Joe Armstrong, who's a citizen of Situate, Mass, and a local small business owner, right, Joe?
Absolutely. For 16 years, Brian, I've been in business with 5 or 6 jobs for good South Shore people until very recently, due to the tech tax. When we heard this happen, and by the way, I appreciate your invitation on the show. You heard about it in the paper, wondered, how is this going to affect South Shore businesses? As always, you guys are really the touchstone of what's happening around this area.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so on my issue, I've run a business out of Situate Harbor for 16 years, put every penny of my life into it like other small business people, all to hire the next person. I brought as evidence for your crowd here, the business, some of the people work for me.
That's amazing.
Some of the jobs that I have, 72,000, guy raising a family in Hingham, 72,000, a guy with an MIT master's degree from Situate. College students at $20 an hour each for 10 years every summer. They're walking
amazing.
away with
Good money.
$5,000
Right.
each. They're walking away. And one's in the Navy as a proud naval officer now. One's a school teacher, a young school teacher. These are the jobs that keep a community. And where are they going now? North Dakota. I just came back from my third trip out there, because when I heard that, people unfortunately like the Honorable Representative Cantwell, and I mean that, he's an honorable gentleman. This is a policy difference.
Jim, now we're speaking of Jim Cantwell, the state representative
Absolutely.
of Marshfield and Situate.
A wonderful guy, and by the way, he's a great singer. He belted out some Johnny Cash tunes with my band out at a VFW kind of fundraiser. So he's a good guy. I want to make this clear.
So
It's just my question is, how could such a nice guy be so horribly, horribly wrong on economic policy? And I'm willing to talk to him face to face, but I know he's a busy guy, and we talked briefly about this, and his response, and I'm not misquoting at all, Joe, I'm sorry it's affected you this way, but we had to, quote, make difficult choices to make the budget work.
So, but my concern, being, part of the state of Massachusetts, of course,
Sure.
as a citizen.
And a father of a young guy.
Of course, of a bunch of young guys.
Sure.
I certainly don't like to see small businesses driven out of our state.
It took a lot to do it, Brian, after being in this wonderful area for my whole life, born and raised.
And that bothers me. And Paul Kearney is a small business owner. Actually, I don't know if you're a small business owner. You're kind of like you're getting into the...
No, I'm definitely a small business.
How many gyms do you guys have?
Well, we have, I think we have 5 in this state, but the
That's
thing
awesome.
is honestly, Massachusetts is not that hard to do business in compared to New York, New Jersey, New Hampshire, where we have other gyms. If you think it's bad here in Massachusetts, go to New Jersey, it's the absolute worst. They
I've heard,
sales tax on gym memberships. So that means
Wow.
that, I can relate to this, because it's definitely the most, you can't even feel taxes until
That's
you...
like another targeted tax against your specific business,
Oh.
specific gym membership tax.
But they have it on all services. So it's talk about the Sopranos owning stuff.
At least,
I mean, it's just-
By the way, I would have paid that, to be clear, Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, if Jim Cantwell was being asked as an attorney to pay to put the same 6.25% surcharge on the invoices for his consultation work to his clients, like I would be for my software consultations, which all of a sudden it was like Jim Cantwell was putting his lifting my wallet out of my pocket here, you know. And I say that facetiously, but I'm saying I tried to say, Jim, I can't make money if this passes. Please get out in front. Please rescue my business. I gotta leave and take all my tech jobs with me.
Let me illustrate this, because looking at Joe has put a great spectrum of spreadsheets in front of me. And Paul, maybe you can relate to this. So the way I understand it is, for every $1,000,
Right.
your business will make 12% of that $1,000, which is maybe $120 profit.
That would be about our margin, like most small businesses,
Okay,
about
does
12%
sound right?
of outgoing, all revenues.
Now, with this new tech tax, they're
you wouldn't pay the tax. You're not going to pay the tax.
No, and that's
Your
that's the
customer's
fiction.
gonna pay the
Oh
tax.
no, that doesn't. That's you see, and I respectfully
No, and
say,
I
Paul,
understand that, because there is a tax.
because I
You gotta
can't charge
collect
it
the-
though. In other words, I'm in a national market, and for what I do, I charge $100 an hour, $1,000 a day. Is my $125 an hour, $1,000 a day.
Okay.
And my clients when I told them I might have to charge them an extra 6 1/4, they said, "Are you crazy, Joe? I can get exactly the same services from guys in any state in the union. How can they just put an extra sales tax on just your kind of services? Why not the hairdress services? Why not other services, legal services? Why wouldn't Jim vote for that instead?"
Joe, why didn't you just tell me you had to make difficult choices?
Yeah, exactly. And I did.
Honestly, I think, first of all, I think they understand this was a mistake, and they're going to repeal it. So I don't know if you're going too fast and leaving the state, but I got to tell you,
It's already the problem is
you're already there. I get
already
it.
there.
I get that.
But the governor,
honestly, let's talk about other states for a second, okay? Massachusetts #1 in the country with education. Okay, that costs money. You want to talk about other states and how bad they are, you got to go there to learn.
Oh, I'm not
culture.
talking about that at all today.
What
You're
I'm
way
saying
off course
is
for
that
my subject.
I agree with you, and I can feel you, and I think it's a great idea to get out there and be in the forefront and say, you know what, 6.5% sales tax on tech jobs is just dumb, especially when the fact that you have to compete with all these other states.
It's a national
that don't have
market.
it. It's a national market. I get that. And my hat's off to Bob Headland, because one of the first things he did back in the 90s is they tried to pull this to straighten it out, and they did try to come up with a tax for the hairdressers
For
and the
everybody.
plumbers, and that's what's happening in New Jersey. And I can tell you something,
Yeah.
it is. I want to sell my business in New Jersey because I am just so taxed to death. Here's the other thing, too, is this what we don't understand in Massachusetts. If you sell your house in New Jersey on your way out, you got to give them 4% of the sales of your price.
That's why I'm not in New Jersey.
4%. But here's how.
But there are states that believe in freedom. I'd like to talk about
here's what you got to. Here's
Yeah.
what you got to give the legislator. And I don't really believe me. I think they're all up there way too long. And I think it should be a part-time government.
Jim's still for the tech tax. I haven't heard
think-
his repeal effort yet.
Honestly, I'm not for career politicians. I'm not going to even stick up for him. All right. I think you serve.
I think he's a great guy. He's a gentleman and an honorable guy.
He is,
Gosh.
and I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is New Hampshire has a good way of part-time legislators where they get $100. I believe that you go up there and serve and get out. I think there's bureaucracy up there that's so bad and so just awful. But I can only say this in their defense: Massachusetts has a balanced budget. We balance our budget every year. And what they do is they have to go out there and find the money. And this year they found it with cigarette tax and gas tax. Great.
And tech tax against one particular kind of worker.
And honestly, they're
Which is
going to
unfair.
repeal this. They're going to repeal that. They're going
I haven't heard anything from
The
Mr.
governor's
Catwell.
already
Maybe
made-
he could call into the show.
Well, I'm telling you,
That
they're
would be
working
great.
on they're going to find out the money. Do you know what they do in New York and New Jersey when they don't have enough money? They call it a special tax. And what they do is if they don't have enough money, instead of debating where they should get the money, they divide it up among the businesses, and you get a special tax. I get an $800 bill. I don't even know how to budget for it.
That's why I'm leaving this state. It's
I
the
get
same
that.
thing.
So let me
The
intercede.
state isn't that bad. All I'm saying
Paul
is
Kearney,
that
let me intercede.
I didn't
here.
say the state's wonderful. I wish I
Right.
could stay. I think you're right, Paul. It's a great state. I want to come back in 3 years.
We all have reasons why we have disinterest in the way each state does business. Now, New Jersey, you want out. Obviously,
out.
you want out.
I'm
Joe
not
wants
there.
out of Massachusetts for this tech tax,
exactly.
obviously. Which
And Joe, you got a good point. What I'm saying is if they continued with, one day it's the tax, next day it's the hairdresser.
What's next?
The next day,
Exactly.
exactly.
Well-
And if we go down that road, I'm out of Massachusetts.
and
I'll
I
tell you
agree
that.
with you, Paul. And
Don't
that's
tax me, because the fees that you have to pay, not only do you become a tax collector yourself, you have to charge your customers 6.5%. And then you have to
Exactly. You're
pay-
making my case, Paul.
Yeah, and then you have to pay the credit card fees for everybody.
Exactly.
And then honestly, if you miss a tax or you mess up, they go after you personally.
But
It's
we're not in New
unbelievable.
Jersey. I understand.
So
I'm saying.
let's get back to Massachusetts.
bless
And by the way, thanks for letting us in on that New Jersey little. I had no idea about
I
that.
didn't know it was that
I had
bad.
no idea. That's
bad.
pretty bad.
right, we're
we
back
can
in
see why that.
Massachusetts now.
We can see why that state's going off in the water. But
It's true.
I have a check in front of me, a $5,000 check that Joe's company just got. Was this today?
By coincidence, it came in this morning. One of my
$5,000.
consulting fees. I just wanted to show.
Show it.
Now, where did that check go? Normally, it would be deposited in my regular company account, and that's 2 weeks of payroll for my staff. Right? Now, it's in my North Dakota self-startup fund. Right? All the extra money. And I had to lay my guys off to prepare. I gave them all an offer to work in North Dakota. None of them could because they have families.
Well, they're
I
not
gotta
gonna
hire-
relocate.
I got to hire
They're not
North
gonna,
Dakota
yeah.
people, right? But I would say this to Jim. Whatever the tax is, what we're trying to do is promote an amendment to the Constitution, and I want Jim to support it, which says, and we got a caller, one of my former staff.
Oh, wow, we have a caller right on the line.
But the constitutional amendment says one thing. Whatever the tax we all agree on in Massachusetts, right, left, center, doesn't matter what you do, just tax us all the same. If there's a services tax, make it for the rich attorneys who voted for this, like the governor who's preparing for his private sector legal career. Make sure he has to charge the same 6.25%. I would have stayed for that, Brian. I would have hated it, but I would have said at least everyone in every service, CPAs, attorneys, everyone's paying.
It's very segregated.
All right. Instead, they said, no, let's get those quiet software guys and beat up on them.
All right. Let's get to Anna. She's on the line. Anna, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Now, as just coincidence, it sounds like you were one of Joe's employees at one time. Is that true?
I was fortunate enough to be one of his employees at one time.
Okay, so Anna, are you in college or out of college or?
I just graduated this past May. Yes.
Okay. So you were one of his high-paid college employees, if I remember.
Right. Yeah, I was.
Correct.
Joe was very generous. Both with.
Do you want to tell us how generous he was per hour?
Joe, is that okay? Of course.
It sure is.
I think he's very shy sometimes with his generosity. But no, I had a great experience. Generous not only in his pay. I was receiving by the third summer there. It was $25 an hour.
$25 an hour for a 21-year-old.
For 40 hours a week.
40 hours a week. So that's like $1,000 a week.
Joe instilled a great sense of each year you're learning more and more, and that experience is valuable. And so that was a great lesson to me, where I benefited from in several ways. But not
boy, I wish he was like that when I was playing music.
I'm moving to North
Carolina. I know. I wish
now,
when I was in his band, he was that generous.
And Anna, by the way, now Anna's starting a great career as a young teacher. And anyone, as I told her, who came through my shop, any of the younger people before that, another gentleman is with the U.S. Navy now, a wonderful former intern also. And there were younger students, Anna, some of them who I wanted to hire for the next summer. Now they'll be North Dakota students, unfortunately. But it was great to have you, Anna, with us. And I look forward to hearing more about your wonderful teaching career. And I just hope that you can tell some of your young friends that if they want to get out of their parents' basement in Massachusetts and get a good job.
They don't.
No, a lot of them don't. But the way to do it is to keep businesses like mine growing and interested in staying in the best state in the United States, Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And I'll come back in 3 years after making the few million I've been preparing for out in North Dakota. But I wish I could have paid all those taxes right here in the Commonwealth. But I won't do it if it's to support all these special tax breaks to movie stars and biotech and all the governor's friends here. And why don't you cut that, Governor, instead of trying to get more taxes out of one component? That's what I'm saying, Mr. Governor. And Jim, come and talk to me about it. And I want you to co-sponsor this amendment to the Constitution that says one thing. Whatever the taxes are, we decide as a free people. Let's tax each other the same rate. Brian, does that sound fair? What do you think?
What else can you say?
Can we get Mr. Cantwell in here maybe to talk about it?
We got to get back on the phone lines because they're jammed up.
You got it. Thanks, Anna.
Thank you for calling.
All right, great. Have a good night.
Bob, you're on the other line here with Friends with Benefits, 95.9 WATD, with Brian Stratton, Jay Gillespie, Paul Kearney, and Joe Armstrong, special guest.
Wow, sounds like a full room over there.
It is, Bob. What is your 2 cents on the tech tax?
Well, I've actually had the pleasure of working with Joe for a number of years as a hardware support guy.
That's
and
right.
I'm calling from my basement right now, getting prepared for Joe moving out of state.
Yeah, you see, I'm sorry, Bob, by the way. Bob's
all
the
about the basement.
Best computer hardware guy. And where would we buy our computers? From local stores, the Derby shop. Bob would help hook it all together and get our printers and peripherals going. Bob at the Computer Nerd in Hingham, no advertisement, but couldn't do better. It's just, Bob, you need like 20 guys like me to make a living, right? And what's going to happen when I go and take my $10,000 a year in subcontracting out of your pocket? What's that going to do to affect you?
It's not going to help, I'll tell you that.
Well, that's the
Joe,
crux of this.
I was trying to figure out, looking through my records here, we've done business for a number of years now, at least 10.
At least 10. You've been a great diehard guy backing up my small business, Bob. I appreciate
it, yeah.
And I hope to come back in 3 years. If there's freedom, if the Commonwealth brings back tax freedom, I'll take my money back and start my 4th business back here in Massachusetts and hire more good students like Anna.
Oh, she's great, too. Yep.
Well, $25 an hour, I'm sure, should be coming here with bells on.
Hey, with Jim Cantwell, he's
$25 an hour.
You know what though? You know what? Here's how business. Let me tell you how.
A beer once.
Yeah, let me tell you how business works. You know how much I charge for Anna's $25 an hour work? $100 an hour because I would edit her work. She was doing high-end consulting work, database building, high-end stuff. I sat her down. I said, Anna, you're going to be doing the work of a 30-year-old, so I'm going to pay you like a 30-year-old.
So that's what I'm saying. You work like an adult, you get paid like an adult.
Responsibility.
Right? Just like, hey, Paul, just like Blonde Mike. He said gives those average painters $20 an hour.
He pays them well.
18 years old. He's out there paying them $20 an hour.
Right, he pays them well.
Because they work like a man, you get paid
hard.
like a man,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
Bob,
do a good job,
Bob,
get work, that's good.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for calling Friends with Benefits. We got more calls on the line.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks,
Have a good
Bob.
night.
Thanks, Bob.
781-837-4900. That is 781-837-4900. CTA Management at rocketmail.com on the email. We got Kenny on the line. Kenny, how are you?
Hi, Brian. How are you?
Good. Kenny, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, nothing. I love your show, my friend.
Well, thanks so much. I was so glad to hear that you're calling. And do you know anything about this tech tax or this
I
Joe
have.
Armstrong
Yes, I was
character?
shocked to see that it could be passed so quickly in a couple weeks like that, and I think it's unfair that it's singling out a certain business. And unfortunately, my friend and employer for years, Joe Armstrong, is being thrown out of the state. He's going to move on, and I'm sorry to hear that.
Kenny, I know you're just one of the contractors. $30,000-$40,000 a year I used to spend on the South Shore, the $500,000 or so I'd bring in from all the 50 states in the union, and I wished I could keep working with good guys like you. What a great contractor Kenny is. He's worked on a lot of my apartment complex development jobs.
Well, he can get a hold of us at CTA Management at rocketmail.com if anybody needs a contractor, right?
Well,
but he's
that
going to lose
good.
Joe's business. And
that's the thing. And I had these people call in, Brian, for one thing. I want to impress a small business is an engine of growth, right? It's not just the salary. To get my salary of $100,000 or so going, I had to work 15 years to get that. And I support all these other salaries, 70, 50, and contractors, 10,000 here and there. To bring in the expertise I need. I wanted that to be Massachusetts expertise, and I tried to meet with Jim Cantwell, and again, he's a gentleman, but I said, look, I can't stand for this. I'm not going to stay in the state no matter what it costs me unless I'm taxed at the same rate as all other providers of all other services. And I looked him in the eye, and I said, Jim, you tell me, how would you feel if all the attorneys who voted for this damn thing had to charge that extra 6.25%, just like they try to do in New Jersey? They pick you apart business by business with special taxes because they know they can't give a general overall increase in the tax, and they won't make the tough choices they have to make to cut things like $60 million subsidies to the Ted Kennedy Museum and stuff like that.
Hey,
I mean, come on.
Kenny, can I ask you something? How's business going for you?
It's okay. I'm struggling. I'm actually taking a full-time position, which, thanks to Joe, gave me a great referral, and I'm going to be working for. You think $25 an hour is a lot of money? It's not. I mean, it's good money, but after taxes, it's not good.
Especially if you have children, a family, you've got.
Of course. I mean, it is good money. It is money, but the jobs that I don't even want to tell you what I'm going to be starting at right now, but you got to do what you got to do in this economy. But again, Joe got me through some tough years with all his business contacts, and he's going to be sadly missed in this state. And Joe, when things get, I have no kids, so I'll be right behind you. You get me something out there, I'll jump stage.
Hey, Kenny, I'm trying to tell my entrepreneurial friends that if they need time and experience business freedom, I'll tell them about where I'm moving. Nice little town, Crosby, North Dakota, 1,200 people. The mayor brought his whole city council out to meet me, showed me the office space I could move to. I got another for rent sign in Scituate going up, guys. Used to pay local property taxes for our fine Scituate schools. Part of my rent, a couple thousand of my annual rent would go towards the schools. And Scituate talks about it all the time. They're chasing out all the businesses, not intentionally. It's not Scituate doing it. I love Scituate, love Marshfield where I grew up. But Jim took the same civics lessons from the same great teachers I had in Marshfield High School. He should know better than to target a tax like this.
Well, you know what? The funniest thing is, this is big news that Joe went to North Dakota and moved out of Scituate. It even landed in the Journal of Crosby, North Dakota.
That's the local Marshfield Mariner there. Hey, look, there's a picture of the mayor there with me on the front
He's
cover.
on the front page with the mayor.
They rolled out the red
That
carpet.
never would have happened in Scituate unless you could have been.
Well, I would say no.
Maybe make the police reports.
To be fair, Scituate officials, great town. I've been proud to be part of it. And if I was a new business coming in, I'm sure Scituate would do it now. I'm just saying that they were astonished when they said, why? Why would you leave this? You live on the ocean in Massachusetts? They said, why? And I said, one thing. Mr. Mayor, will you just, and the senator was there, well, you just tax me at the same rate as everyone else. They wouldn't do that. I tried to meet with my state rep. He said no. The governor said no. And so I'm saying yes to the state of North Dakota if you believe in tax equality. And I did. And then I came back, though, on September 12th. Notice the date on the article.
I do. I see it.
The 10th, all right? So I
10th.
give the presentation. I close the deal because at that point the governor was dragging his feet in the sand, just like Jim, saying, I'm still for the tech tax. And what happens? I come back on the 12th and I open up the Boston Globe at the Logan Airport. Whoops. Governor says maybe he made a mistake. Senator DeLeo, maybe we made a mistake. And by the way, I'm not Republican or Democrat. You know that. I don't participate in any partisan politics for over a decade. So I don't have a ball in
agenda.
this game.
There's no agenda.
I was a business guy trying to hire people. I didn't ask Anna or anyone who ever worked for me or my contractors if they were right or left, whatever. They don't care. They want to feed their families and work their way through life, you know?
Well, Kenny, you still on the line?
I am.
Yeah, the funniest thing about this is there's numerous, dozens and dozens and dozens of people I know that are against this too, but just don't want to talk about it. They just feel, I don't know if they feel like they're...
I want a public statement from Jim. At least the governor had the nerve to say I was wrong. He said I was wrong, and I apologize for that.
He said just like the...
He said I was wrong. I don't want Jim to apologize. I just want Jim to say on the air, you know what? I made a mistake, too. I'm going to follow the governor on this. Sometimes we make mistakes. He's a good guy, by the way.
He is. We don't want him out of office. We love him.
Actually, you know, I
the guy that can do Johnny Cash.
I'm saying, hey, he can sing great Johnny Cash.
He can sing Leonard Skinner all night long.
I'll back the guy up anytime at the bandstand. I'm just saying, on the taxes, Jim, man, you're wrong.
Well,
and when you want to meet and support an amendment to the Constitution to say 1 year warning on any increase or new tax, that's all we're looking for. Now, if the citizens of Commonwealth can't agree with me on that one thing, I can't come back. If in 3 years that's passed, and I'm going to try to work on it in the 6 months or so I have left, gearing down in Massachusetts. But I'm moving by February. My office will be set up in Crosby.
Well, that's a shame. But you know what? We got to go to commercial break.
Hey, thanks for the time, gentlemen.
Hey, thanks, Kenny. He's already gone. Well, you're listening to 95.9 WATD, Friends with Benefits. We'll be right back after this commercial.
Hello, everybody. This is Graham Nash from the Hollies and from Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, of course. Right now, you're listening to me on my friend Brian Stratton's show. It's on WATD 95.9. Keep listening.
The law office of Philip M. Markella is a full-service law firm with a focus on family and divorce law. When your marriage dissolves, Phil's office will help you navigate those often rough waters. They'll represent your interests with respect and compassion. The law office of Philip M. Markella also assists with estate planning, real estate transactions, and adoptions. Get in touch with the law office of Philip M. Markella, 19 Depot Street, Duxbury. Their telephone number, 781-934-7977, 781-934-7977, and on the web at markellalaw.com. That's MARKELLA law.com.
Hey, it's Brian Stratton, and I'd like to talk to you about Mamma Mia's restaurant. With 5 convenient locations around the South Shore, you don't have to drive far to enjoy delicious Italian cuisine, just the way you like it. Whether you're in Carver, Plymouth, Hanover, Kingston, or the new location in Green Harbor, Mamma Mia's is something to please any palate. Catering, gift cards, and takeout are available 7 days a week. Contact Mamma Mia's online at mammamias.net. That's mammamias.net.
My name is Chris Kelly, owner of Duxbury Motor Works, and I've been in the automotive service industry for about 20 years.
My name's Joe Dio. I'm partners with Chris at Duxbury Motor Works. People might know me as a former general manager of Green Automotive.
We are the dealer alternative.
It was an idea that Chris and I both had after working in the dealership environment. We want to be the friend in the business that everyone might say they have and feel comfortable, get your vehicle serviced by people that you can get to know and trust.
We fix everything at Duxbury Motor Works. If it has wheels and a motor, bring it to us.
We warranty everything that we do for 3 years, 36,000 miles. We do a full check over on every vehicle that comes in from stem to stern. We let you know what your vehicle is going to need now and also what might be coming up that we can see.
We help them prioritize in terms of what is important to do now for safety reasons and the things that can wait for budget concerns.
Duxbury Motor Works, 1474 Tremont Street in Duxbury, right at the corners of 3A and 139. Call us at 781-452-7471.
Experience the Atlantis Sports Club difference. Atlantis Sports Club and Spas are located throughout Massachusetts, including locations in Braintree, Holbrook, and Hyannis, featuring state-of-the-art cardiovascular and strength training equipment, plus indoor and outdoor pools and full-service spas. Atlantis offers something for everyone. How about Zumba, spinning, and strength training classes, swim lessons for the kids, or a luxurious spa treatment? Your Atlantis membership allows access to all locations. Atlantis Braintree, located off the highway across from the South Shore Plaza, features beautiful indoor and outdoor pools. You'll find the newest Holbrook location next to Stop and Shop with plenty of parking and a spacious floor plan. Take a mini vacation at Atlantis Sports Club and Spa in Hyannis. Play golf, then relax by the resort-style pool. End the day with a relaxing treatment at the spa at Atlantis. Mention this ad and receive 20% off any spa treatment. Experience the Atlantis difference today. Visit AtlantisSportsClubs.com and book your tour today. Be a part of the show. 781-837-4900.
I'm going around the country. I'm trying to get as many people as I can not to get married. I promise never to get married. I've been married, and I'm just trying to help. Okay? So here has never been married? You never been married? What's your name? Michael? Well, Michael, if you ever think about getting married, if you ever think you've met the right woman, you want to settle down, change your life, will you do me a favor, Mike? Remember this face. Because if you get married, Mike, that's going to be your face every day. It's the face of every married man. He wakes up in the morning. It's the truth, man. He wakes up in the morning, he goes to the mirror, he looks in it and goes, "Rah! Ah! What did I do to my life? It's true, folks.
And the number one reason your woman's always mad, fellas, the number one reason your woman is pissed, because you ain't her first choice. Fellas, you ever catch your woman just looking at you, but not saying nothing? In her mind, she's thinking, how did I end up with this ugly mother? Oh, Lord, this mother ugly and stupid. I had a good man and I blew it. Damn, Lord, kill my man. Kill him, please. Kill him while I still look good enough to get something new. Please kill this mother. Now, strike him. Strike him. If you out there, Lord, strike this mother dead.
WATD, Friends with Benefits, on Wednesday night here in Studio A. We got Larry Nelson behind the glass. As they call him on the Tuesday night show, Larry Legend. Right, Larry? That's your name, right? They get that. Is that a Larry Bird reference or something? Yeah. All right.
Off the glass.
We got Off the Glass. We got Jay Gillespie.
I'm inside the glass.
You are. Paul Kearney from Atlantis Sports Clubs.
Right.
And we still have Joe Armstrong in here. And Joe, thanks for your spirited tech tax talk tonight.
Well, thank you, Brian. You're a public policy show. I know you
it's
know
the
what's
first time
happening.
we talked really public policy.
Well, you know, it's funny because a lot of talk shows out there on the AM radio are very geared toward politics and that kind of social kind of stuff. And, you know, the kind of thing we do here is very, very different, obviously.
You mix it up, man. You never know what to expect. It's South Shore life at its finest whenever you tune in.
And that's a good thing. At WATD each night, they have kind of a different kind of talk show format. Whereas Monday night, they have South Shore Live.
Right. Politics, and then they got food.
Politics. Monday night, they have
money.
Food. They have Sweeney and Malone on Tuesdays, which is a great talk show. They have Almost Famous, local radio, local musicians.
Featuring local artists.
Like Jay.
Like me.
Have you been on the show, Jay?
I have
missed
not.
that one.
I have not.
Oh, okay. I've strummed with Jay. He's pretty good.
I'm waiting for the invitation, but, you know.
So getting back, I want to kind of conclude what we just spoke about, the tech tax. Okay. There was a repeal, or is it in motion, or what?
I'll give you right up to the moment.
Oh, thank you.
The Massachusetts Tax Foundation, which is anti-tech tax, filed an appeal a few weeks ago For 2 weeks until September 12th, the governor and the Democratic majority said, nope, we're sticking with our guns. And then on the 12th, again, the morning I came back from signing a deal.
And bought all that property, out of state.
And found my new office.
Right.
Because I didn't think there was hope.
Right.
And the governor said, whoops, I met with all the tech leaders and they said, we're going to go out of business or move out of state. Thousands of jobs would have been lost. And now at least the Democratic leadership is saying, you know what, we're going to try to pull a vote together in a couple of weeks. And to their credit, they realized the mistake.
Now, are you going to keep that red carpet out there with your office, or are you going to change that?
I'm absolutely going to keep my plan to go to North Dakota. My promise to Jim Cantwell and other lawmakers is in 3 years, if there are no special purpose taxes and everyone pays the same, whatever they are, and this amendment is passed for the people, right, left, middle, I'll come back with the millions I'm going to make out there and hire good South Shore people at good wages. How does that sound, Brian?
Dare to dream. He has a dream, and he's going to follow through on this.
It will happen.
It will happen. All right. We have a caller on the line? Is it Steve Sweeney?
Yeah.
Steve, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Say hello to the round table.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve. Hey, Steve. Good to talk to you.
The round table.
The Knights of the Round Table. Did you know anything about these taxes and this tech tax stuff?
No, you know what though? I'd rather eat glass than move to North Dakota.
Have you been there?
No.
No, see, of course. There's a reason why.
And I've never met anyone from there.
Talk to Joe.
You know, the thing about, although I understand what your guest is saying, and I respect it, but, you know, you have to have a place, or I do anyway. I have this fantasy of living in all these beautiful places, and I know me, you know, Vermont, and I've been all out west and everything, and it's just so stunning for a week, and then for another week, and then another week, it's probably starting to be stunning, but like, oh, let's talk about a book. Oh, you mean you read? Are you a queer or something? So, I don't know. I like to. I just know how I am. I need a little. I can't be in places that what you'd call culturally dull.
Well, you need excitement, Steve. You're the kind of guy that needs to be constantly entertained.
See, I'm going to bring that excitement out from Massachusetts to North Dakota, Steve.
I don't know
so
if you're the guy,
fly
Joe.
you out there.
Change the place.
I don't know if Joe's the guy to do that, though. Come on now.
We'll see. Maybe Steve would be.
Well, you know, there's positives and negatives, but I really don't need constant excitement, but I kind of miss. I actually live in Quincy, and I miss talking about things other than the number and cars. And,
the number?
Yeah, you know, what was the number?
Oh,
yeah, what was it?
That's
Powerball, the number.
Yeah. How about wheat and barley futures? I heard that discussion
Oh
at
my
the bar
God.
out there.
So I caught sort of some of it. I'm in the middle of a weird problem. I lost my wallet, which is not unusual for me.
Oh.
But anyway, so you're leaving the state because the taxes are prohibitive as far as running a business. Is that it?
Well, it's just this one tax, Steve. I was willing to pay the same tax you and everyone else does, my income tax in Massachusetts, to pay for the schools and the roads and all the fine things we enjoy. It was adding at 6.25% to all my outgoing invoices for software consultations related to my work. It would be like saying all of a sudden CPAs have to charge an extra 6.25%. And I said to Jim Cantwell, our local rep, Jim, how would your legal clients feel if you had to charge an extra 6.25%? Why pick on just the software businesses? I hire good people. My margin is 12.5%. You just took half of it before you can even book a profit. It's a sales tax.
That's right.
I can get to the end of the year, not make $1, not $1 in profit, and still have paid this tech tax. And of course, the governor, to his credit, at least he apologized and he said, we're wrong. I met with industry leaders. But I haven't heard that out of my local state rep, and I've been trying to get him to say it.
Yeah, so now you're punishing yourself by going to the moon?
Rewarding myself. Are you kidding? It's beautiful country
He loves,
up there.
listen, there's
wild horses.
Steve,
I saw wild horses go
My
through
dad
the town.
did too in Arizona. He lived there for 15 months. He could not wait to get back.
All right, listen, I'm going to do something that Joe Malone does on my show. Can I plug my show? It's on Tuesday
Absolutely.
night.
We've already plugged it for you once tonight.
All right, so
do it again.
Here we go. Childhood living, easier to do. Wild horses.
Wild horses.
Oh,
Well, you know what? Joe's more of a sheep guy.
Don't spread any weird stuff here.
Different Stones tune.
Oh. I used to be a coyote, but I'm all right now.
So, I do have to side with Steve Sweeney here about the North Dakota.
No, you know what?
I have
Everybody's
to,
different.
but
it will be an adjustment.
It'd be a very big adjustment for me.
I was talking to the producer there, Larry, my good buddy, and he's got some friends up in Vermont, and they split. He can tell you the story, but they split, if you can imagine this, 80 acres 3 ways. Can you imagine?
Wow.
And they love it.
Size of a small town.
But I know I'd be like this crazy old Sweeney. I'd be talking to myself after a week. I don't know.
I tell you, I met a great, again, small town, 1,200 people out there in the middle of the fields, oil derricks, people spending money, opportunity. I was just shocked. I mean, when the local officials sit you down and say, "Hey, Mr. Armstrong, we'll tax you at the same rate. We don't care what you do if it's legal." Why doesn't Massachusetts say that? Why doesn't Jim say, "Hey, look," and the governor say, "We like all legal business because all of it hires good Massachusetts people."
You got to talk to your therapist.
Hey, let me, And
life
you're
is more than taxes. It's like, for me, even New Hampshire, I go up there and I'm always lost going to gigs. And you got to talk slowly, and they repeat the question. Oh, I'm looking for Manchester. You're looking for me. Yeah, you're looking for this. Oh, you're looking for this. Oh my God, talk about slow.
And let me ask you this: you're a single guy too. So what's the ratio of women? Is it like Alaska?
We were talking about
12 guys
wild
to one
horses
girl?
out there.
It's a lot of goats.
No, it's about I would say 2 to 1 guys to women anyway. Not a lot of. There are women going out there for
Sounding
executive
good for you, Steve?
So there's
2 to 1,
2 guys to each woman.
Yeah, but I'm not.
So what do you think, Steve? Would you like those odds?
You know what? I don't know. I mean, it's like, and also North Dakota, they're always on like Willard Scott as being the coldest place in America.
Oh, that's right.
That's nothing. Minus 20, I can take that, Steve.
As long as he doesn't have to pay that tech tax.
Absolutely.
He'll live on the moon.
You know, I feel like the guy, you're talking yourself into moving to Cuba or something.
What are the taxes like in Cuba, Steve? I'll consider it.
There's something not right about this, I'm telling you.
You know, Steve, though.
Wherever I'm taxed, the same as you, Steve, for your comedic performances. That's all I'm looking for.
This is such an extreme decision.
Not at all.
Well, you know what?
More of us are making it. They just won't talk about it.
I think in 2 years, Joe's going to be bathing in a bucket of dollar bills.
Oh, really?
He's going to make a lot of money out there.
Or a horse trough.
I'll come back, and if there's tax freedom back here in Massachusetts, equality, I'll come back and start my next business. Because I like starting businesses and hiring people. I feel I'm one of the 50 that statistically, according to the census, hires someone else besides themselves. Only 1 of every 50 Americans. That's the fact.
Wow.
And when we chase the one of the 50 out, all those jobs and economic activity go. And instead of paying, for the mystical multiplier effect of Hollywood tax credits and stuff, I don't want to pay for that stuff.
What was that?
The mystical multiplier effect they talk
me,
about. Hollywood guys, give them all the tax breaks because the governor loves those guys.
Let me disagree with you there, okay?
Go ahead.
Okay.
All right. So, not just because I was just in a movie, but I was just in a movie, Denzel Washington.
Love the movie.
What was the name of the movie?
It's called The Equalizer, and it'll be out in September.
Nice.
But here's something that people don't get. When a movie comes to town, I can't begin to describe to you how many hotels, restaurants, all of Teamsters, these guys. So they put all these people to work, and they give these hotels and so forth their business. But beyond that, it is like a travelogue for Boston. Now, when movies started to get to come to Boston, it's like it's the greatest advertisement. Now, you look at television, Boston Legal, this new show, Ray Donovan. It's a way to promote the city. I can't tell you enough. I can't say enough about how much I disagree with you.
And
it's something that every city wants. Why? And it's the one thing that seems to be coming. You know, so why do you want to take that away?
Well, Steve, you know, and to both points, you both have good points, and I'm a small business owner myself, and
Okay.
I feel this. I agree with you that books rooms, makes jobs, and we
And
do
promotes
have to.
the city.
Right. I mean, and we do have to want those jobs to come in. All he's saying, and I agree with him, well, I'm a small businessman. Why don't I get a tax? Why don't you give me a
absolutely.
break?
You know what?
And we're not getting those breaks, Steve. That's all I'm saying.
I know. You
And
know
that's
what?
where I agree with him.
Thank you, Paul.
I agree with him in the fact that Hollywood doesn't need any tax breaks. No disrespect, Steve. Small business guys like
No,
me
you know
and
what?
him are the guys that
Let me
need the
tell you
tax
something.
breaks.
If they need the breaks, and you need the breaks because they bring in jobs, they promote the city. If I was the person who could do this, I'd give you all breaks.
Right.
Now, the
well-
really important point is, Brian said to call the show. Why am I in this frickin' discussion? I know nothing.
Because the IRS recalled about your
No,
Steve.
Steve,
all
actually,
I
you
try to
do. No,
do is
you have
make
a good
people
point.
happy. Jesus.
Paul
Christ.
says he's a small business owner, but he's not. He's actually about what, 5'9", 5'10"?
I agree with
had
you,
a small
Steve.
business. I had a comedy club, and I lost $150,000. And I'll tell you how I lost it. We were opening in the South End, and it was. You know what was the weirdest thing was the community organizations. They thought, we'd bring the wrong element, like a comedy crowd. You're kidding. It's
Happy
just one
people are
thing
bad,
after
Steve?
another. It's like we just opened a club 2 weeks ago in Boston at the Westin Hotel, and you would not believe all of the, the loops you have to jump through as far as health inspector, fire inspector, this guy, that guy. It's as though the government's the enemy of you guys.
Well, that's the point. That's the point.
Exactly.
It's just that
But
I
it's
have
not like that everywhere.
No.
well, I have a
North
small
Dakota.
business. I have a small business in Holbrook.
But isn't that what big government does, though? When government
No.
is big,
Government's
they're
supposed to-
justifying their bureaucracy.
Well,
right?
that's what they're doing. They're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to say, look, it's up to the citizens. We want to have common laws that people can understand, that are predictable, regulatory environment that we don't have to hire expensive consultants to even understand.
Right.
All right. And we don't have that in Massachusetts. It's government is the big industry under this administration, and Jim's promoting it. And I just don't, I can't pay for that in good ethics. So I've been building Steve for 15 years towards this big point, and I hope to retire in 3 years, make the money out there. But as far as the multiplier effect, you're right. Movies are great. I hope all movies are produced in Massachusetts. It's good business. But it's
It is
no
good
more
business.
important business or advertisement than me when I bring a check like I deposit this morning, and I hire Massachusetts people to do appraisal and survey and other work they can do online and like analytical work for $25 an hour, doing it and paying Massachusetts taxes and hiring Massachusetts vendors.
Well, why don't you stay here and fight it out?
I because I tried to. I tried twice to get an appointment with my state rep, and he's a gentleman and a good guy. I want to make that clear, and the community's lucky to get him. Except on this,
But
I
he
told
won't
him,
give you an appointment.
I told
Why
him
would
how,
the community be lucky if he won't sit down?
you know
with a
what?
small
I want to be
business owner?
clear. You didn't say
I don't
no.
get that part.
I asked twice through his office, and they couldn't book it on for some reason. He did speak personally to me at a VFW event we were both attending, and he said, Joe, I'm sorry, tough choices had to be made. So he said politely, Joe, I'm sorry, I voted the way I did for the tech tax. I've heard your point, but I politely disagree. And that's a gentleman. That's why I'm saying that.
Well,
then
but
he
what he
broke
didn't
into
do is
Johnny
listen to.
Yes.
What he didn't do is listen to your X's and O's about why you felt that way.
I don't think he believed me that myself and I know 5 other businesses on the South Shore, we talk about it, when we're going to move. One's moving up to New Hampshire, one's moving down to Florida, one to
And
Rhode
that's
Island.
sad.
With all their jobs. But you know
At
what
least
they
they're going
said
to
to
Florida,
me?
though, Steve. Though,
Do you know what
I
they
mean?
said? This is funny. One of my friends, he said, Joe, you're crazy getting on the air talking about it. The rest of us are just going to slip out of town here because we're afraid of being targeted and all this kind of stuff. Well, some of us have to get out there in front of an issue, and I had to on this. Simple tax justice. That's it, Brian. Maybe we can get our state rep to believe in that.
Well, I'd like to thank Steve Sweeney for giving us a call. We got to go to commercial break. Hey, Steve.
Hey, listen, the next time at the round table, have Lady Guinevere or something, okay? Something I know something about. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll tell you something. I got a friend of mine. He's a small business person, and I think it was 2 elections ago. One of the presidential candidates said, 80% of jobs come from small business. So I'm on your side.
Thank you, Steve.
Best of luck.
Thank you, Steve.
Hey, Steve, we're looking forward to your show Tuesday night,
Yes.
6 to 8. Sweeney and Malone here on WATD.
Okay, Brian.
Jay?
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Brian, whose wallet is that over there? Did you find a wallet?
Yeah, where the hell is my wallet?
Wow. What is the
Thanks,
contraband?
Stratton.
What
Hey,
Saint are you supposed to
Brian,
do?
put that
Saint Anthony?
put his $50 bill back in that wallet.
St.
That
Anthony,
wallet's
you're right.
empty.
Pray to
Something
St.
rock
Anthony.
Can't be found. St. Anthony. Look
St.
around.
Anthony, there you go.
All right, buddy. Talk to you later.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Steve.
Bye.
All right, you're listening to 95.9 WATD. We'll be right back after commercial break.
Hi, this is Darrell Hall, and you're listening to my friend Brian Stratton on 95.9 WATD.
Cafe Eleganza on Route 53 in Pembroke, Mass. Cafe Eleganza is the perfect place to wine and dine. Elegant dining with an atmosphere second to none. Cafe Eleganza also has great specials. Sunday through Thursday, dinner for two for $19.95. Choose from chicken parmesan, chicken piccata, or lasagna. This includes pasta and salad. Also, get a burger and beer for $10. The sensational veal Roberto will please any palate. Don't forget late night appetizers for only $5. Enjoy live entertainment Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights starting at 8:30 p.m. Make reservations now. Gift certificates are also available, as well as takeout. Cafe Eleganza, Route 53, Pembroke, 781-826-0700, or online at cafeeleganza.com. Open for lunch and dinner 6 days a week, and open at 4 p.m. for dinner on Sundays.
Hey, it's Brian Stratton, and I'd like to talk to you about Mamma Mia's restaurant. With 5 convenient locations around the South Shore, you don't have to drive far to enjoy delicious Italian cuisine, just the way you like it. Whether you're in Carver, Plymouth, Hanover, Kingston, or the new location in Green Harbor, Mamma Mia's is something to please any palate. Catering, gift cards, and takeout are available 7 days a week. Contact Mamma Mia's online at mammamias.net. That's mammamias.net.
My name is Chris Kelly, owner of Duxbury Motor Works, and I've been in the automotive service industry for about 20 years.
My name's Joe Dio. I'm partners with Chris at Duxbury Motor Works. People might know me as a former general manager of Green Automotive.
We are the dealer alternative.
It was an idea that Chris and I both had after working in the dealership environment. We want to be the friend in the business that everyone might say they have, and feel comfortable, get your vehicle serviced by people that you can get to know and trust.
We fix everything at Duxbury Motor Works. If it has wheels and a motor, bring it to us.
We warranty everything that we do for 3 years, 36,000 miles. We do a full check over on every vehicle that comes in from stem to stern. We let you know what your vehicle is going to need now, and also what might be coming up that we can see.
We help them prioritize in terms of what is important to do now for safety reasons and the things that can wait for budget concerns.
Duxbury Motor Works, 1474 Tremont Street in Duxbury, right at the corners of 3A and 139. Call us at 781-452-7471.
Experience the Atlantis Sports Club difference. Atlantis Sports Club and Spas are located throughout Massachusetts, including locations in Braintree, Holbrook, and Hyannis, featuring state-of-the-art cardiovascular and strength training equipment, plus indoor and outdoor pools and full-service spas. Atlantis offers something for everyone. How about Zumba, spinning, and strength training classes, swim lessons for the kids, or a luxurious spa treatment? Your Atlantis membership allows access to all locations. Atlantis Braintree, located off the highway across from the South Shore Plaza, features beautiful indoor and outdoor pools. You'll find the newest Holbrook location next to Stop and Shop with plenty of parking and a spacious floor plan. Take a mini vacation at Atlantis Sports Club and Spa in Hyannis. Play golf, then relax by the resort-style pool. End the day with a relaxing treatment at the spa at Atlantis. Mention this ad and receive 20% off any spa treatment. Experience the Atlantis difference today. Visit AtlantisSportsClubs.com and book your tour today. Friends with Benefits. Call in and be a part of the show at 781-837-4900 with your hosts, Brian Stratton and Mark Trungone, where your calls and comments are always welcome.
Will you take it? Scumbag! You know what? If you're going to shout, we can just talk later. Oh, okay. All right. You know what? Call me back when you calm down.
On 95.9 WATD.
95.9 WATD, Friends with Benefits. A heated Wednesday night here. Jay, how are you doing?
I'm heated.
Did you learn anything, Jay?
I learned,
anything?
I actually learned a lot. Joe Armstrong, thanks for coming in.
Hey,
Very informative.
Paul, Jay, Brian, freedom's alive here on ATD. That's all I can say.
And it's great to have Steve Sweeney call in and always give his 2 cents because he knows a lot about a lot.
He sure does.
He does.
Good to have him with us.
A lot about a lot.
He does.
Hey,
He really
and what
does.
I didn't know, I mean, small business guy, he had staff. He had to go through all the regs and everything to get his comedy
Oh,
routines
absolutely.
going.
He lost
knows what
150 grand.
he knows
likes
what
to
it's
eat glass, apparently.
didn't live in North Dakota. And Joe's going to be kind enough to call in from North Dakota to just check in up on us.
Hey, I'll tell you.
You promise?
They do. There's one. You have
Morse
to call
code.
up.
Okay.
You have to call
did-
Sarah at the central switchboard and have her dial it in.
Like Sparky on MASH?
Can, with the last few seconds of the show tonight, can Joe just tell us about the one bar in where is it called?
My favorite singing place. It's called the Homestead Saloon.
Yeah, the Homestead Saloon.
All right. I look up and I see what? Gun racks all the way around the whole room. And I said, "Oh, those
Get
are
your
great."
picture it. It's like perfect.
I said, "Those are great ornamental guns, Brian." Ornamental.
No,
the bartender said, "Those are mine. Each one of them can be shot in 2 seconds. So
Yeah.
be careful."
Now, do they
Where do
have
you
like
park your bison?
do they have like moose head and all that on the walls? too?
It's just like out of
Moose.
the movies. It's like a Western.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the guy behind the bar is Dell, the bartender. What did you do, Dell, before? I was a cowboy. I thought he was kidding. No, he was a cowboy.
I don't think Brian's
So what-
seen too many Westerns because you're talking about moose out there. I don't know that many moose are out.
Not moose, but there's some,
There's
I
moose
think
up
elk
there,
and
aren't
things.
there?
Yeah,
There's a big
elk.
moose roundup.
Elk coming down from Canada.
Elk,
Yep.
you know.
But no kidding. The farmers leave special bins for hay in the winter to feed the stray horses because horses are wild like deer are here, and they're protected, of course.
Wow.
So you'll be walking into town and you'll see horses going by that aren't owned by anyone. They're wild.
Wow.
Crazy place, huh?
That is wild.
Yeah.
So
I'll report in from the front though,
Can
from
we
3
go-
miles from Canada.
can we get a little cameo on a little video phone kind of thing, and you could Skype it to us, or
Like Willard Scott?
email?
That's what we'll do. All right, I'll be in a parka, trying to keep the minus 20-degree temperature at bay there. And by the way, I'm going to be summering here, wintering in Scituate probably 3 months a year, which is kind of ironic. For the warm season in Scituate from December through February, I'll be right here in
You'll
town.
be out there
Serious?
swimming.
Yeah.
Well, we'd like to thank Jay Gillespie, Paul Kearney, Atlanta Sports
Thanks,
Clubs.
Brian.
Hey, thanks, Brian.
Most notably, Joe Armstrong,
Look forward to calling in.
Steve Sweeney out there. Thanks for calling in, and Larry Nelson behind the board. Friends with Benefits. We'll see you next Wednesday night.
The South Shore's first choice for live team coverage of breaking news, emergency traffic, severe weather, and high school football. 95.9 WATD FM Marshfield.
The Fed says it will continue its 85